Hello and welcome to the Old Ball Show. We have the second episode of Meta Watch, which we are going to try and get out to you guys on a bi-weekly or fortnightly, if you were, formats. We've got two exciting tournaments coming from around the world again. So we are covering the SBOT Canada. That was the square-based over Toronto from Canada. And then we have the Heart of the, is it the Heartlands? The Heartlands GT. That also happened this weekend, so we've got some spicy lists to get our teeth into. I'm joined today by Andrew, as always, my partner in crime. Say hello, Andrew.
Hello.
Brill. And yeah, we can get started straight away. What I will say, firstly, if we start with the SBOT, I think that's probably got the most coverage. People will be interested to find out what's going
It's
on
not
with
SBOT though.
SBOT. It's fine. Square-based
Square-based
open
GT.
Toronto. Everyone calls it SBOT. They called it SBOT in their marketing as well, so it's fine.
Did they?
Yeah, square-based.
They weren't advertising for the actual SBOT, which is a square-based online tournament.
No, they were saying it was Square-based Open Toronto, and well, it's fine. Square-based Open Toronto.
Yeah, that works. Okay, fair enough.
They're both the same. So, shall we start with the third place from that, Mr. Andrew? Would you like to take us through it first?
Yep. So it's Christian. Is it Jeremiah?
Mm-hmm.
Jeremiah. Sorry if you pronounced your name wrong there. So he's got a Beasts of Chaos list.
Mm-hmm.
And after looking at this list to start with, before the show, we decided this is a really cool, interesting looking list, and we both like it, I think.
Absolutely.
So on here, to start from the top, he's got a level 2 Great Ray Shaman. He's got an Earthing Rod on his rocking Demonology. He's got a Great Ray Shaman level 4 on a plus squad Chariot with Hagtree Fetish, Power Scroll, and Elementalism. He's got a Doom Bull who's got the Giant Blade, Armor Meteoric Iron, Talisman Protection, and Gouge Tusks. So he's got the extra AP on there with the damage to Giant Blade. He's got a Wargore who's got the VSB, and we've got the Slug Skin. No Magic Banner. Then he's in core got 2 units of 5 Chaos Hounds with Vanguard. He's got 27 Gore Herd with the additional hand weapons, Totem of Rust, Musician, and a Champion with a great weapon. 8-man Gore Herd who's ambushing with a Champion with a great weapon. You have 2 Minotaurs, one with a great weapon, one with a shield, both with ambushers. And then the 2 units of 3 Dragon Ogres, heavy armor, great weapons. And in rare, the Dragon Ogre Shagoth with a great weapon and the Blackened Plate.
Brill.
So,
explain to the people, Andrew, why this excited us, because it's a cool list, very cool list.
Well, he's just got options, which I think's nice. So he can bunker up into this Gore Herd. He's got the Demonology to possibly get a couple of. He's not got Lore Familiar on there, so he's not guaranteeing anything, but he could potentially get a couple of nice buff spells if he goes down that route, or he could just go for the summoning, and he's got some extra magic missiles from that because he's got the Hagtree Fetish level 4. He's on Elementalism again, no Lore Familiar, so he's not guaranteeing like traveling with some pathways. He's not guaranteeing the Wind Blast, which you kind of like on there with the Hagtree. He can take Valtide though on both if he wanted to, which probably is doing. In fact, sorry, the Bray Shaman, sorry, is on a Chariot, isn't it? Actually, ignore that. So the Bray Shaman, the great Bray Shaman's on a Chariot, sorry. So he's rocking it solo with his 360 arc. Again, you'd expect to see Lore Familiar usually on that, but fair play. The Doom Bull, absolutely love the Doom Bull, love it. In the unit Gores, though he could also go in the Minotaurs, so he's got some options. More than likely in the Gores though with the BSB. Get a nice little bit of static combat res. They punch fairly pretty hard as well. The Doom Bull's not a soft cookie, especially if he's got damage 2. He's got the AP 1 from the Gouge Tusks, but also from the Totem of Rust. There gives an aura, doesn't it, of AP 1?
Absolutely, yeah. It's an aura friend of foe. For the Totem of Rust.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's -1 save for everything within friend of foe, which is really cool.
Yeah, just -1 save or +1 AP?
It's -1 save.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
So I like that. Then he's got the Tunisia 3 Dragon Ogres, which is everyone loves Dragon Ogres, and then the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth with the black and plate, pretty
Which is
stock standard there. Again, it's three three decent sized targets with along with the gores, just pushing nice and hard with all that.
absolutely.
I like it.
That black and plate is a monster on the Dragon Ogre Shaggoth. It, just if anyone doesn't know, it's a full plate armor, gives you a 3+ ward save against flaming attacks, and flaming attacks are really quite common at the moment. So it just makes an already relatively tough model quite even tougher. I just love this 27 Gorehead unit. I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, if he's got the Brave Shaman Wargore and Double in there rocking it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You sometimes can see that as well with like the Gore Ungors, can't you, as well, with the Poison Banner and short bows. It's obviously quite a common thing now. I think everyone's seeing after that guy did pretty well with the Night Goblin 90-man poison bow unit to
Yeah,
take out large targets, like dragons and stuff like that. You've seen that, especially with elementalism, travel mystical pathways and rust on what you're shooting at. You know, to zoom that unit around the board for what would normally be hard to wheel. Instead, just pick it up and put away one. Well, 12 inches from where it started, but
absolutely.
it seems to be quite a common thing right now. So,
Brill.
well, quite popular, not common. Sorry.
Yeah, popular.
Start to pick up because you've got your Henry skeletons can do it, you've got your night goblins, you've got your beastmen can do it, and so yeah,
Very, very cool.
I like a list where it's got a few different options with how it can.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And if we're going to look at his win-loss rate, I'll just pull this up as well. We'll just do this for each list so we can see sort of how it performed. All right. So bear with me 2 seconds, and we'll get that together. But no, I agree with you. I think it's got really good utility. I do love it's got sort of a mini. I say mini, 27 models, but it's got a mini sort of Death Star, if you like, which you don't really want to charge because you're probably going to get slapped with a billion, strength 3 attacks. And then you've got the characters in there as well if you need it as well. I just think it's a very cool idea. So just bear with 2 seconds whilst I get this, and we can go from there. All right.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to know how many games the tournament was. Was it 5 or 6?
It was 5, I believe. Let me just getting it up right this second. So we've got it on here, and it was 5 games. And in terms of Christian, he got 4 wins and a loss.
What did they lose to? Do you know?
I don't know. That's a good question. So it was round 2. It was round 2. Let's just have a look.
Lost the second game to a nice little submarine. Then after that,
Exactly. So he actually lost to Charlotte Lewis with their Toon Kings, with their Toon Kings list. Okay, really, really good. And Charlotte Lewis also did really well. So it's not a it was not a bad thing to lose a second game. Charlotte Lewis came 5th, so it was pretty decent losing to one of the top 5. Right, let's move on to the next list. Okay, I'll go through this one, Andrew, if you don't mind. We have Claudio Paola, who was running Warriors of Chaos, who's running the Wolves of the Sea. He has Demon Prince, hand weapon light armor. He's got level 4. He's got Exalted Champion, who's at BSB with a war banner on a Gore Beast Chariot, Favor of the Gods, Ruby Ring of Ruin. We then got 3 units of Chaos Warhound. Sorry, 2 of them had Vanguard. We've got 5 Marauder Horsemen, 3 units of 10 Marauder Tribe Berserkers, each with a champion, and flails. We then have 7 Marauder Tribe Huskarls, who have the Icon of Darkness. Really nice little thing just to pick out from this list. He's got the Paymaster's Coin on the champion, who also has a flail. So I think we'll know what that's being used for at the moment. We've got 4 Skin Wolves and a Chaos Giant, who's just stock. No upgrades at all. So the Marauder Tribe Huskarls champion presumably is the one that he's issuing the challenge with first, is basically guaranteeing first turn. I mean, you're either you've got a really good chance of losing to that, or you're not going to fight it. So it's going to go first, most times. That's handy because he has got quite a lot of drops. He's got 11 drops, 8 of them can go into ambush, I believe. Is that
8
right?
can go to ambush.
Let's have a look. Something like that. No, maybe I'm getting his the list of stuff. Let's have a little look.
If 3 can go to ambush, the 3. So
3 can go. No drops. 11 drops. 8 with ambush. Yeah, 8 can go
it's
into ambush.
just the way he said it. He said that 8 ambush.
Oh, yeah, 8 with ambushes. Yeah, that's right. So that's what I mean. Sorry, what I mean to say is 8 with ambush drops, if that makes sense. So still quite a lot of drops, but it doesn't really matter if you're going to be issuing that challenge. Every game.
Yeah, because you tend to see Wolves of the Sea go in MSU because of that. They can get away with it, which is quite a nice way of building the list. I think MSU is really good, especially because their units are quite punchy. Like the Modern Tribe Berserkers are really nice and punchy and nice and cheap as well. So having a few units of those is strong.
Absolutely.
Just a lot of the time you worry about your drops being too much and not getting that.
Yeah.
To go first if that's what you're wanting to try and do. What was his record?
His record was. So he went 4 win, 1 draw. And the first draw was a 10-all draw in round 1. So again, it's not really a submarine, but didn't get the win anyway. It was a draw to Ben Crick with High Elf Realms.
Can you see what the half list was?
Yeah, certainly.
Struggle against. What if it was dragons, like double dragons, something like that?
So he has what he drew against was Archmage, Reba with a noble on a griffin. Okay, pretty cool. Prince on a moon dragon. The level 4 is not on any kind of mount. So it's just a 1 dragon. Just a 1 dragon, actually.
And a moon dragon as well, not a star dragon.
Yeah.
Was it like a sisters of Avalon blob in rare?
No. In the rare, you have he had 2 lion chariots. Oh, sorry, 1 lion chariot, 1 eagle claw bolt thrower. He had Phoenix Guard, 19 Phoenix Guard. That's the big unit, 325 points. He also had 20 Loathen Sea Guard with a Razor Standard, which is quite nice. But we're not talking about that list. We're talking about Claudio's list.
I thought it was interesting to see what he struggled against there, because that's not a stereotypical high elf list. What you'd probably know as stereotypical anyway. I wonder why that caused a lot of issues for him.
I don't know. Well, I imagine there's quite a lot. I'd imagine looking at it, quite a lot of shooting. He's got the Phoenix Guard that's quite hard to kill, but the Loathen Sea Guard, pretty decent. BS4, they've got the Razor Standard as well. He hasn't got really much, if any, armor on these guys. So Claudio's rocking everything with flails, but nothing really beyond that. He's got the shields on the Huskars, but everything else is just sort of got flails and light armor. So any kind of shooting might do damage to this. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder how I found that giant. You don't really see many giants in a minute.
Again, I don't know how he did with the giant, but I found personally when I played them, it's just anything that is just random attacks. Even when it dies, what it does is random. It's just not reliable. Yeah, exactly. So I find that, you remember in the last Battle Watch, we talked about Golric and how we all love Golric, but the reality is he doesn't feel right in a competitive list because he's too unreliable. I would say the same is with the Chaos Giant. Whenever I've played against one, it's never been an issue. But he's obviously worked for Claudio in this event, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well played there. To be fair, Claudio, it's nice to see Wolves of the Sea doing well as well.
Yeah, for sure. Right.
Some good thoughts gone to that list with getting a level 4 Demon Prince now. I like the utility of Demon Princes. Bit of combat, 360. Getting a level 4 magic in there. He's gone battle magic, did you say?
Battle magic, yeah, level 4.
So he's a little bit tough. He's got the Infernal Puppet to get down people's throats because he's a flyer, so he gets in there fast. Keeps up with the rest of the army basically.
Yeah.
Exalted Champion, everyone seems to go with. Getting Exalted Champions in there. On a chariot though is an interesting pick rather than like going on a mount and joining in the one of the units. So
Keeps him safe, isn't it? I mean, it's to me that's a big middle finger to the monster killer, killing blow Duke. You can't. He's immune to that, and he's just going to run around ruby ringing everything.
everything.
Yeah. Okay, and he's got the war banner as well, so he can.
Yeah, it's got a bit of static combat res along with it when he slams
Yeah.
into something. So yeah, I'm a fan of it. I like it.
Cool. Right, last one. You take the first place list, please, my friend.
So we got Adam with his chaos as well, coming in first place. What was his record, Tom?
His record. You keep putting me on the spot, man. I'm just not used to this. I'm not used to this.
Not prepped.
I'm just not prepped at all. Right, he went, believe it or not, the big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
Was it all big wins as well? Did he take
One,
down?
two smallish wins, 3 pretty big wins. So he went 11-9 in the first game, 20-0 in the second game, 13-7 in game 3, 16-4 in game 4, 17-3 in game 5. So barring that
Build up.
first game, relatively, reasonable.
Yeah, so he sort of just built up his wins by the looks of it. He got better and better as the games went on.
Absolutely.
So on here then, Adam's running a Chaos Lord, who's got the Nurgle on a Chaos Dragon, Ogre Blade, Brazen Collar for his magic res, Enchanting Aura, and he's got 3 Favor of the Gods. So this guy wanted to pump the favors out and not get one.
Absolutely.
So
There's nothing more depressing than getting that stupidity on the dragon, right?
No, and a lot of time you tend to see people take 1 Favor of the God, and then the first time they roll on the table, they get the 1. You're like, oh, so there's no more rolling for you after this.
I know.
So fair enough. This you can tell this is a guy who's been burned by that before.
Absolutely, yeah.
Definitely started 2 games in a row and just rolled a 1, but like, oh.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's 627 points. A lot of money spent on that bad boy. But he's what we love to see with the Chaos Lord and Dragon. He's got some serious output with the Ogre Blade, and like I said, with the Favour of the Gods, he's wanted to get those rolls flowing and get him stronger.
Mm-hmm.
Brazen Collar, fair pick. Mark Nurgle is always good as well for the making it a bit tankier, and alongside the Enchanting Aura to get the people stop striking first before him. Sorcerer Lord, who's level 4, Marker Zinch, Demonic Mount, Armor Meteoric Iron, Spell Familiar. He's got 5 spells, and he's got the Infernal Puppet. He's got Battle Magic. So he's not gone for the Lore Familiar. He's gone for the extra spell instead. And fair play. 5 rolls on that table, and then switching 1 out for the Zinch. The Zinch spell. Lots of this guy's just pumping. It's fair enough. 10 Forsaken with Slash, 7 Forsaken with Mark Slash. Again, in his core list, so it's two nice speedy units. I think Slash is probably the best ones to take. Corn is also up there, but we like the speed more so. And he's got 10 Murder Horsemen, 177 point units with shields, javelins, Zinch, and he's got a champion, standard bearer, and a musician. He's got full command in there. Then he's got 6 Chosen Knights who've gone for Undivided and Drilled and just a champion. And then 4 Dragon Ogres.
Nice.
So quite a small list. He's on what, 6 drops?
He is on. Let me go for it. Let's. I've gone off the list. Yes, something like that.
It's 3 core, 2 special, one characters. Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So 6 drops.
6 drops is fairly low, which you expect to see Chaos. To be fair, it's got some punching. You can't go wrong with the Dragon Lord, can you? That's the thing.
It just, quite frankly, wouldn't be a meta watch without at least 1 dragon of some sort.
Yeah. So he's got the Sorcerer Lord who can work in tandem with him to arcane adjustment the board, get him down, get him straight onto someone's flank, looking downwards. So he's got the best arc of vision there. Because that can be the thing with the dragons. You can try and keep out their line of sight, can't you? So if he's able to plant that, 40 inches down the table. It's gonna be seeing what it wants to charge. If it's gonna be like a block of infantry, something that can't get out of line of sight easily. Forsaken, again, great cause. You tend to sometimes see the hounds, don't you, for the redirection? But this guy's list is so tight that he's just got he's got the block of Chosen Knights and the Dragon Ogres. Probably like, I don't want to redirect you. You come to me. You come to me. The Sorcerer Lord is going to go with the Chosen. But the Marauder Horsemen have got the mark there for them. So what is he putting them in open order and joining in? And but Yeah, I like it. It's fairly straightforward. You can see what it wants to do, and it does it well. I guess he got some. His wins got better and better, didn't you see? So the people who the meta armies he's probably facing more towards the end of the tournament, he was finding easier than the beginning.
Mm, for sure, for sure. I mean, yeah, I like the obviously the Chaos Dragon. I mean, it does what it does. But the three favorite gods is pretty funny. It's like, tell me you've rolled stupid without telling me you've rolled stupid.
Yeah, we
Like,
remember this before.
exactly, yeah. So, but yeah, everything else I like the quick forsaken, and it's fairly I don't know, not standard, but it's probably it's closer to what you'd see. Sort of 2 weeks ago when we did the last better watch, if that makes sense. Which is cool. It's still rocking the punches, which is good. All right. Um, shall we go through? Well, so any thoughts on the SBOT, if you want to call it, not if you don't want to call it the SBOT, the
SBOT finally actually works, as you said. I didn't know the full name of the tournament.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, Square based Open Toronto.
yeah,
I mean, so my pick of the lists, I think we all know it's that Beastman list. I actually really love that list. It's the kind of list that I would like to do. Really, I think it's got quite a lot of utility. Um, interesting that if we look at the top five, there's no Bretts in the top five, or is there? Just let me just I
well,
want to.
the top three alone is all chaos of some kind.
Yeah, it is.
To all different types of chaos as well, which is
Exactly, exactly.
nice.
So it's funny because in the square, sorry, the who came five. Let's see who came fifth. Charlotte.
Five.
Charlotte came into King. Sorry, Caleb Edwards. My apologies, Caleb. He came fourth with the Britonia, but there was quite a lot of Britonians 2 weeks ago. So to not have it in the top three is interesting.
I don't think there was that many Bretonians at that tournament. I think it was very much dominated by chaos, and
Mm.
high elves seem to be really popular there.
Yes, yeah. Looking at there's actually one, two, three in the top 10, three high elves lists. Interesting. That's genuinely that does surprise me. To be honest.
International metas, everyone's different, a little bit different, aren't they? So it's
Absolutely, I think it's fascinating. It's great as well. As part of anything, it's a sign of a relatively healthy scene, and nothing seems to remain the same from week to week, which is cool.
yeah. And
Um,
if you'd listen to a list breakdown of that tournament as well, I think there's a YouTube channel. I think the gentleman's called
what's that?
Zen Fox. He does a YouTube a double two-part breakdown of the lists for the SBOT. He just sort of runs through them for those who can't access the information on Best Coast pairings. And listen to that podcast. There wasn't really any spammy lists. It was
Uh,
nice.
Andy, just check your internet for me. You did just drop out twice there,
Oh,
but it's fine. We'll carry on. We are professionally amateur here, so it's not it's fine.
can you
Uh,
hear me okay?
I can hear you now. Just what were you saying, mate? Because we
Oh,
just
sorry.
sort of got you like this for a bit, like halfway through something. So.
So I was just saying that there's a YouTube channel called Zen Fox, I think it's called,
Mhm.
and he attended the tournament as well, and he did a two-part breakdown of the armies where he just runs through them all. For
Mhm.
those who haven't got access to Best Coast pairings, and he just reads through the lists, and it was quite interesting that there was nothing that felt quite spammy there. The lists felt quite fairly unique, and the way they build them, and there's not no what we'd sort of expect at some of the tournaments over here, where people are going heavy into to certain areas of armies, especially like Bretonians. We see a lot of those that they don't really seem to have a lot of that over there, which I thought was really interesting. The same with the Tomb Kings and Mortuary Cult list that we see over here. Those over there didn't the SBOT didn't seem to be the sort of typical list we thought we'd see over here. So it was nice to see like a refreshing set of lists, really. And we know that the tournament pack, I believe, was the same as they have over here at the TSN Arena tournaments, the Rob runs. I think they had some
Mhm.
small tweaks to rules and things like that. So it's nice to see different types of lists work.
Absolutely, absolutely. No, I couldn't agree with that more. I couldn't agree with that more. Let's rip over to the next tournament then. Okay, which I believe is called War for the Heartlands. I'm just going to
War,
double check.
War in the Heartlands, Act
What
4.
Act 4? Okay, so this was an event that happened at the weekend. Okay, roster. Let's have
How
a
many
look.
how many players are we looking at? How many rounds?
Let's have a look. Having a little look for you now, my friend.
Well, I'll tell you now, it was in Leicester at least
It
anyway.
was in Leicester, yeah.
Based
It
in
was in
Leicester.
Leicester. This is saying that there was.
I believe it was a 24-man tournament, 5 rounds.
Yes, I believe so. But the best goes parents doesn't actually tell me how many there is that there was there, which is interesting.
Well,
But we're not here for all 24. We're here for the top three. Okay, so we'll go through that. If you don't mind, I'll start with the first list. Is that okay for yourself? You happy for me to do it, Andy?
yeah, take it away.
Lovely. Okay. So the first list we have is John Dale. And he was rocking your favourite faction, Andrew, who I believe is on your painting desk right now. He was going through Tomb Kings. So quite an interesting Tomb Kings list. I'll run through it. So he has a High Priest, level 4, on a Skeletal Steed rocking Necromancy. He has a Mortuary Priest, level 2, who's a BSB, but no standard, just basic. Skeletal Steed, Lore Familiar, and Elementalism. He then has, in his core, 21 Skeleton Warriors who have the Nekharan Phalanx, Master of Arms, Standard Bearer with the War Banner, and a musician. Just 4 Tomb Swarms, 4 Ushabti, 8 Skeleton Horses, 7 Skeleton Horse Archers, and then 7 Skeleton Skirmishers. Everything is basic. The Ushabti have the Great Bows. In the special, he has another 4 Ushabti with Great Bows. Tomb Scorpion, 2 Scorpion, again, absolutely standard. He's got the Necrosphinx, basic. And then in rare, he has another Necrosphinx, basic. He has Casket of Skulls, and he has the Screamer Skull catapults with the Skulls of the Foe upgrade. That comes in at 1998. And in terms of his record, he went 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss. The loss came in at in round 4. So let's have a look. Where he lost to Joseph McGough, who, no spoilers, but we will be speaking about Joseph as well. And that was a 11-9 loss, so not exactly a huge loss at all. Very respectable.
Yeah.
Right, Andrew, you are the resident Tomb Kings expert. Take us through it.
Okay.
Piece by piece, no pressure.
Well, so this feels like much like a list that we kind of spoke about on the last episode of the Meta Watch. It's had a bit of everything. So, he's not gone double casket, he's just got the one, which leads you to believe as well with his hero choice that he's not going in for the leadership bombing, but he can with a bit. He's got Necromancer 1 on the level 4. He can do a bit of trickery there as well. Anyway, he's able to do the terror bombing with the double Necrosphinxes as well. A single Casket of Souls again to aid towards the dropping people's leadership with the Necromancy. Then the 2 Scorpions, you have to have both of them anyway. I like to see them with ambushes to drop your model count, your unit count down, but I think he's got so many units that he's just past caring at that point. I like the double 4 Ushabti. I love the Great Bows. Big fan of Ushabti Great Bows.
Mm-hmm.
Very much very good against Bretonnians, though he did lose to them.
Only just. It was only 11-9, so respectable loss, to be fair.
The 21 Skeleton Warrior block, I'd like to see that a bit bigger if it's going to be your phalanx, as it says, unit to hold people up. I feel like 21, so a fair amount of combat units can just chew through that quite quickly. You want to make it as difficult as possible, and but it works. Obviously, it works.
Mm-hmm.
Gone very light on the HQs, which you tend not to see. You tend to see people going for like triple level 4 plus the BSB.
Yeah.
Tomb Swarms, you have to have them. Like if you're Mortrical, you have to have them.
Yeah.
I like that. I love the Horse Archers. Very good for being anti-Green Knight, blocking people up, just causing general issues because they're
Hmm.
just super cheap. Skeleton skirmishers are good for hiding his level 4 in as well to avoid getting sniped at by artillery. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's
Okay.
a genuinely good list. I like the double necro sphinx. You tend not to see it. I was using the double sphinx at the start of our when we
Mm.
first started Old Blood, wasn't I? I just
Yeah,
absolutely loved them.
I
But
hate them. I hate them.
quickly dropped them because they just.
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't understand how to play them. I think at the time was the big one. I always felt like, oh, these just don't hit very hard at all. Like it feels like they have loads of attacks, but they just whiff. Not got high enough weapon skill to be entertaining,
Hmm.
and the strength 5 rather than like if they were strength 6, oh, it'd be really nice. Um, but I think
Mm.
actually using them as defensive pieces to
Mm.
defend against stuff getting close to your phalanx, your shaptators, and your caskets and catapults at the back. You just use them as a defensive piece
Hmm.
instead of just an aggressive piece.
Mm.
It's handy, and also just coupling up with just being able to terror bomb people as well is
Okay.
nice.
No, I
So
agree.
yeah, I like the list.
Yeah, I mean, I quite like it too. Well, I mean, I quite like it too. Yeah, it's quite MSUE. That nothing really has any upgrades. It's a lot of tricks in one list, which is quite cool. I would say as well. I mean, like you say, you'd like to see the 21 skeleton warriors list a bit bigger, but let's not forget, John Dell did come third with this list, so clearly, it does work, which is good.
Oh
That's
yeah,
not a criticism on John, John's list at all. But yeah, I know what you mean, for sure. All right. Yeah, cool list. Should we move on to the second one,
yeah. Second place. So Joseph for Joe, rocking Exiles. Yes,
which is the list that beat John Dale?
that beat the Khemri. Yeah. So
Hmm.
our second favorite army. So
Absolutely.
he's gone for Baron with a lance, shield, Royal Pegasus, Gromwell Great Helm, and the Gauntlet Jewel.
Hmm.
Has he not got any? Um, what's them called?
He's
Uh,
got no virtues. He's got no magic weapons.
no virtues, no magic weapon.
Mm.
Then he's got a Paladin, again Lance, Royal Pegasus, Shield, Falcon Horn, class stuff. Is
Mhm.
he upgraded to BSB for free or? Yeah,
Yes, he has. Yeah,
he is.
it is ticked. It's just not showing.
And then he's got
Yeah.
the Green Knight. Again, I wouldn't ever leave home without him, even if the train's not that great. But I don't know what the train was like. But look at the pictures from the um, from the War of the Heartlands. I think it was using square based stuff.
Hmm.
Then two outcast wizards, two level 3 outcast wizards, one with demonology and one with
Hmm.
battle magic. He'd got an arcane familiar and ruby ring on the demonology one, and then lore familiar on the battle magic one. Okay, I
Hmm.
quite like that. That gives him some quite a lot of utility rather than just giving
Hmm.
the one dark magic outcast wizard, which you tend to sort of see. He's going
Hmm.
for demonology and battle.
Hmm.
Um, and then to back all this up, he's got 2 to 6 mounted knights of the realms with standard bearers and champions, 2 to 5 mounted human with feigned flight, so they're going to go and sit with the outcast wizards. 10 peasant bowmen because he has to in skirmish, 5 Pegasus knights, and I imagine 2 princess bombards as well.
Hmm.
The other 5 Pegasus knights have got a champion and a banner bearer with a banner of the zealous knight and a musician. It's got full command.
Hmm.
So yeah, I like the 003, and I like
Hmm.
that he's got the law formula on the battle magic one, so he can like guarantee like arcane urgency and stuff like that. So he can absolutely send this Pegasus bomb just flying,
Yeah.
but also
It's a long way they can go. 50 inches,
yeah,
more or less, in a turn,
but also
which is nice.
can use it on the mountain knights of the realm to make actual use of those because if he can throw them up and then put them to the side or something to look downwards, it actually makes use of the knights of the realm, which typically I found to be just sat around waiting. Um, if a lot of the
Mm.
time you don't have a good target and stuff like that. So I like that. Demonology I like as well, so he can well he can't really see the shadows or anything, so he's going to be potentially going for like from the buff spells.
Hmm.
Um,
So he's got some decent magic missiles. He's got the summoning, obviously, as a signature spell. He then has the Gathering Darkness potentially, which is they suffering a -2 modifier to their initiative, which is quite nice. and they can't use Inspiring Presence as well. Demonic Familiars is an assailant, 2d6 strength, 2 hits, and no armor saves permitted.
Yeah, but you don't want to see them in combat, really.
No, you don't. You don't. But he's got no Law Familiar. So he's got one Law Familiar, sorry, on the Battle Magic. So the guy taking Demonology, he may get that, and he can only take one signature, can't he? Then he's got the Vortex of Chaos, which
It's terrible.
yeah, we don't talk about that. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's a pretty cool. I am surprised. I'll confess again. This is not this is not a knock against the list because he went 4-1. He only lost the last game, and even the last game, we actually get 6 points out of it. So I mean, clearly he's doing something right.
I think he's a good player as well, actually, Joe.
Yeah, exactly. I am. He actually lost to Tom. Lost to Tom Carley, who again, it's interesting because third lost to second, second lost to first. We'll go through that in a second. I am surprised to see nothing on the Baron or the Paladin. Maybe not the Paladin so much, but certainly the Baron. I would personally want to have a bit more punch.
So, I mean, I'm in two minds with Bretonians in the sense that I love the beefed up characters with like um, the the axe and stuff like that, and the virtues,
Mm-hmm.
that virtue, nice temper and stuff like that. So he punches really hard, but also remember that list I wrote where I went for like 6 mounted characters,
Mm-hmm.
Pegasus, where they're all just cheap as chips,
Mm-hmm.
just to get as much stuff in. So he's cut back on the fat, if you could call it fat. He's cut back on that to get more in,
Mm-hmm.
to get that double outcast wizard in, and it worked. Obviously, it worked. It worked really well. Buffing up the if that's what he's going for the demonology, he's hoping for like vessel, or he's just having him. So he's got the summoning on there.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got double. He's got summoning plus ruby rings. He's a bit of a
Yes.
Daka outcast wizard,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's got some potential buff spells that he could use.
Mm-hmm.
Then yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I do like the cheaper versions of the heroes. To be fair,
Mm.
we
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
love the virtues of the killing blows and the tempers and stuff. But
Mm. No, I agree. I agree. And the gold little jewels are obviously a really nice little upgrade just to escape into a challenge if he needs to,
yeah, I guess
which is really cool. Yeah, really
yeah,
cool.
we'll see what
Yeah,
happens.
yeah, it's decent. I mean, it's a decent list. It's not too disappointing. I do like the Mounted Yeoman. I think they're very cool. Very cool core choice.
Well, anything we reserve moves amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So let's move on to the first place list. So we have Tom Carley, who took Chaos Dwarves. He's got a Sorcerer Prophet, which is Dark Forged Weapon, Heavy Armor, level 4. He's got a Bale Taurus, Talisman of Protection, Meteoric Iron, and Mantle of Stone, and he is also taking Demonology. We have the Black Orc Warboss with the Great Weapon. He's got the FG of Orc. He's got a Wyvern. He's got Trollhide Trousers and an Enchanted Shield. And then he's got the Demon Smith Sorcerer, which is just on foot, Rubric of Ruin and Demonology. And then of core, we've got 10 Infernal Guard, because you have to. He has given them an upgrade. He's given them Fire Glaives and a shield, but that's it. He's also got 2 units of 12 Hobgoblin Cutthroats, which are just there because they're flipping cheap, 36 points for 12. And then he's got 15 Black Orc Mob. These are quite interesting, actually. So he's given them Frenzy with the Angry Lads banner, or the Angry Lads flag. He's given them 12 shields, 7 great weapons. Then moving on to the last, the cool part of the list, the bit that everyone is excited about with Chaos Dwarves, he's got the Iron Demon. He's got 2 Death Shrieker rocket launchers. The Iron Demon he has made Hellbound as well. So quite similar to what you run at LGT, by the sounds of it, but a few tweaks here and there. What's your thoughts, Andrew?
Yeah, I like it. I like Curse Wars. I like the way he runs them and builds them as well.
Yeah,
He's got the artillery.
literally as well. They look beautiful.
Yeah, literally, yeah. The fact that
Yeah,
local models.
yeah.
Yeah, you can see lots of pictures of them on like the London Grand tournaments,
Mm-hmm.
the UKTC, sorry, pages and stuff, because
He won best army,
He
didn't
won best army, yeah. Yeah, he won
he?
best army. I think he wins best army in most places. To be fair, his army is beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like the double punchy character, the War Boss and Source Prophet, two big characters, two mounted ones. Sorry, two big mounted characters. I love the Death Streakers, two Death Streaker artillery at the back because it's big, nasty D6 damage under the hull, isn't it, on those?
Absolutely.
Iron Demon again, solid. It's a beefed up steam tank, isn't it? I
Yeah.
think it's better than the steam tank. Um,
And Hellbound makes it extra spicy.
yeah, it gives it a little bit of defense, and I don't know if it's had that reroll as well is nice.
Yeah.
Level 1 sorcerer, I imagine, is hanging around towards the helping the Death Streaker rockets get those rerolls as the prophet. I think he tends to send off and do his job. I like the demonology on the prophet as well with on Veil Taurus because he can buff him up nicely with there's
Nice.
two decent buff spells to get him extra strength attacks, AP and toughness, initiative, and all those beautiful things. Mantle of Stone obviously makes him high toughness, and the Black Hawk War Boss is just a solid piece all around.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, really, really good. And the Black Hawk War Boss is got the troll trousers, which are insane. So it's a 2-up save and a 5-up regen. Really, really cool. Really, really cool. The Death Streaker rockets, yeah, I love. If you watch our tier list where we ranked war machines, I believe we gave these an A, which doesn't sound great, not an S tier, but to give some perspective, there was only 2 in the S tier, which was so you had to be pretty good to be getting there. Very, very cool unit. A solid all round list, and Tom's getting really good with it. He's getting consistently good results. So very
And
good.
you also don't tend to see Chaos Dwarfs podiuming a lot, really.
Mm-hmm.
So, well played for that. To be fair, Tom.
Well played. Yeah, he went. His record was 1-4. So he lost. Sorry, 4-1.
1 win, 4 losses.
Yeah, exactly. No, he lost the first game. 14-6. I don't know who he lost to. So let's have a little look. He lost to Matt Muscat with their Orcs and Goblin tribes, big units of Night Goblins. Which is becoming my favourite saying, Andy, becoming a bit in vogue at the moment. Vogue.
Was that the Goblin list? It had a big block of like 90 Night Goblin archers that was getting poison bandit around.
It's 60, 30, and 30.
Oh, okay. So
with the spider banner, so yeah, they get the
spider
banner.
So that causes it, even no matter how tough your big creatures are, it's that many just wounds coming through. The purpose of people building those lists is to try and take down these big creatures. So I guess,
yeah, for sure. Yeah, but it's just a really cool list. Again, we just talked about this as well with the SBOT. It's a really varied top 3, and the top 5 was really varied as well. So we had Chaos Dwarves at number 1, Brett's at number 2, Tomb Kings number 3, Orcs and Goblins number 4, Warriors of Curse number 5. 5 different factions for the top 5 is pretty cool.
Was that Orcs and Goblins the guy that beat Tom?
Yes. Yeah. So
again,
all pointing towards a relatively healthy meta. It could always be healthier, but a relatively healthy meta. And I must say, it's been a bloody nice change. Not reading out dragon after dragon. Yeah. So
the thing is every weekend when we look at these tournaments, the placings and stuff some of these tournaments, it's always different. And no matter how much you see people might complain about things like dragons and now potentially big massive poison,
the answer to dragons,
the chance dragons is that the armies that win and do well all this top podium all these tournaments are always different, and it always changes each week. So
exactly.
I think something happens where something something happens in the meta where people are taking things like dragons and stuff, then people come up with an answer for it, which is at the minute, if it works out, it continues working out, is these poison bomb bricks.
Yeah, I think it's really good, because what it means is that people aren't always chasing a meta. If the meta changes constantly, there's nothing to chase, and I think that makes quite a healthy gamescape.
Yeah.
What I would say is, if you've got a list that you feel is is got teeth, and you think it's going to answer all the problems. Doesn't matter if it's the meta, just run it because it seems to be working. That's what people are doing at the moment, which is it's cool.
And what's really cool about Old World, especially at the minute, is and I can't see it being the case anyways. There's not one army that's just winning everything.
Mm.
It's just dominating everything, causing all the problems, and everyone's upset about that exists. You know,
Mm-hmm.
there's nothing like that.
No.
Whatever you consider the best army or the top army has an answer.
Mhm.
So yeah, I really like the way the meta's forming at the moment. I like the way that people are building their lists and how they're you know performing at tournaments. It's really interesting to see every single weekend and all these different tournaments, different results, different armies, different players as well.
No, I agree. I agree. I think there was very much a knee jerk reaction after the LGT because everyone was like, "Oh, first all the way to the first four places were Brett's." But if you look at it since then, really, there's been maybe one Brett in the top three in each. Well, in both betters that we've looked at, both the better watches we've looked at, which is not that crazy to be honest. It's very cool, very very cool. I think though that leads us nicely. We are the danger of us going on a tangent because I got to step and edit this thing, so I'm gonna cut it off there, Andy. Any closing thoughts on the two events before we go?
No, it's nice to see people we know as well doing at these tournaments and
Very good, yeah.
two,
Well
two,
done, Tom.
two well-run tournaments by the sounds of it from the people attending.
Yeah.
Everyone had good things to say about them, and we look forward to next weekend with two more tournaments.
Absolutely. So we will be back in 2 weeks for the next Meta Watch. We'll do our tier list next week, and I don't know what we're going to pick yet. Something really ridiculous that's not been thought of yet. We'll get together on that. But until then, if you want to share any thoughts on any of the lists, please leave a comment. Really good to get all your thoughts, even if it is that I look like a gorilla or that Andy's vest is awful.
It's my painting vest,
All
okay?
right, whatever whatever the comments are, they can be as insulting as you like. Just leave a comment; it's absolutely fine. All right.
It's less restrictive now in sleeves. It's full of
Yes.
paint. It's fine.
It's yeah, of course,
Just
of
leave it.
course. Well, you make your choices, Sandy, and I'm going to mock you for them. We'll see you next week. Thank you.
Cheers.